attention, go. And it looks like a clean start. Again, we've got a little bit more of a brisk headwind now, but the water's still fairly flat, so it should not affect the cruise that much. As the crews pull level to the launch, it looks dead level. Yeah, maybe Princeton with half a deck, but Cornell is actually pulled level now. After 20 strokes, going stroke for stroke, Princeton has maybe one seat on Cornell in the second varsity race. And now 2 seats. Princeton starting to edge out. This again in the men's second varsity lightweight race. And Princeton 3 seats up now. Get no St. Joe's entry in this race. Cornell has held them there. So 2.5 seat lead. Princeton over Cornell. Both of these crews throwing long and clean right now. Now we're starting to feel a real headwind. There's a little chop on the water. You can kind of see it start taking the blades a little bit during the roll-up. Princeton continuing to stride out. They now have a 4-seat lead over Cornell. 500 meters down. They'll get there first. And 3.5 seats. Princeton over Cornell. Still plenty of room. This will be a much longer race than the varsity. The varsity, there was a little bit of a wind, but essentially flat water. Right now, we've definitely got some wind. And yeah, Cornell's hanging in there. They're actually starting to press back. So Cornell was 4 seats down. Now they're 1 seat down and moving. With about 800 meters down. Princeton holding them there. Both crews rowing about 35. I would say Cornell understroking Princeton by maybe a beat right now. That could bode well for the Big Red later on in the course. But 750 meters down, Princeton is your leader, but only by 3 seats. So, as we saw in the last race, a lot can happen in the third 500. We're about 30 strokes away from that mark right now. We're coming up on the 1,000-meter mark, beginning of the second half of this race, and Princeton still has a scant 2.5 seats. Now only 2 seats. Cornell's moving. Cornell's moving now, and I think they're moving without really doing anything special. I don't think this is a move. I think this is just them going a little faster than Princeton. They now have a 1-seat lead. Princeton over Cornell, and Cornell is still moving. Quite often crews will throw something in, something special at the 1,000-meter mark. Let's see if that happens now. Princeton pushing, Princeton back out to 3 seats, and now out to 4 seats. They're making a bid. Princeton Coxon looking across, asking for something. They've got 5 seats. Tigers over Cornell. Let's see if Princeton can continue at 6 seats now. 6-seat lead. Princeton over Cornell in the second varsity men's lightweight race. And 7-seat lead. And 8-seat lead. Well, so far, Princeton has not been waiting around in this third 500. They have been really devastating in the third 500 in the varsity races. In the last race, the varsity contest, Princeton went from about 7 seats down to a length open, or a length up, in the third 500. And in this race, they've gone from about 2 seats up to nearly a length now. Princeton continuing to move in the third 500. Princeton still a bit higher than Cornell, maybe a stroke higher. Princeton Coxon now on the bow deck of Cornell, and they're continuing to move. Princeton is throwing a lot into this third 500, both last race and this race. But you know something? It's paying off. They have now a full length. Princeton Tigers over Cornell. As we approach the 500-meter mark, it's gusty, but the water is actually a little bit better here, getting some protection from the shore. Princeton now has a full length, second varsity lightweight men's race. So there's still room for Cornell. They've been rowing a little bit lower than Princeton. If they can up the ante now, up the cadence, keep the power there. They might start to press, but I don't think Princeton's going to let them. Princeton now has a full length, and now for the first time in the race they've broken contact. A little bit of open water for the Tigers. But Cornell's held them there. But as we approach 250 meters to go, it is Princeton with one full length and maybe a little bit more over Cornell. That's a lot to get back in 250 meters if you're a Cornell fan. It almost requires a mistake on Princeton's part. That's not out of the realm of possibility, but right now Princeton looks pretty sharp and they're continuing to move away. They have a seat of open water and now two seats. With about 200 meters to go, Princeton is your leader in lane one. They're upping the cadence and moving away from Cornell. So with about 15 to 20 strokes to go, Princeton will win this one. Cornell, a good solid race all the way through, will finish just a length shy in the men's second varsity lightweight 8.